My boss said I was replaceable and fired me, so I ruined his life forever. I worked at this tech startup for 3 years, putting in 60-hour week, basically running the entire customer support department by myself. My boss, David, would take credit for everything I did, every project I completed, every system I built, every problem I solved. He'd tell upper management it was all his ideas. I kept quiet. I needed the job because my wife was pregnant. And honestly, I didn't really care about the credit, but it was getting ridiculous because our CEO had given him 5 raises for things that I did. One day, I realized enough was enough and asked for a raise. I hadn't gotten one in 2 years, and the company was doing better than ever, mostly thanks to my work. I walked into his office. David, can we talk about my compensation? He looked up from his phone, annoyed. What about it? I haven't had a raise in 2 years. I'm doing the work of 3 people. He leaned back in his chair and laughed, actually laughed. You think you deserve a raise? I nodded. Yeah, I do. He shook his head. You're replaceable. I could find someone cheaper to do your job in a week. I stared at him. Are you serious? Dead serious. Actually, you know what? You're fired. Clean out your desk. I blinked. What? You heard me? You're done. Leave. No warning. No severance. Nothing. I had sacrificed so many things. Time with my wife, friend, family. All for a boss who called me replaceable. I walked out, grabbed my stuff, left the building. Now you'd expect me to cut my losses. Maybe look for a new job. But me? I don't give up that easily. See, everyone in our company knew David didn't actually do any work, and that he had hidden multiple things from the public. Things that could get him fired, or better yet, ruin his life. So I called Erica, who just so happened to be my best friend, but also his personal assistant. I told her about how I got fired and how I wanted to get back at him. But the second I told her that, she looked excited. You see, I didn't have to talk to David every day because he would make us do all the work. But Erica? He treated her like she wasn't even human. Made her do things that were above her pay grade. Things of that nature. She told me to meet her at Starbucks that night so that she could tell me all the dirt she had on him. I showed up at 8 p.m. Erica was already there, sitting in the corner with a laptop and a folder. A thick folder, like suspiciously thick. I sat down across from her, ordered a coffee I didn't even want. Just needed something to do with my hands. What's all this? She smiled. Not a friendly smile. A revenge smile. Everything. She opened the folder, started pulling out documents, emails, receipts, screenshots, bank statements. David's been embezzling from the company for over a year. I blinked. What? He's been funneling money into a fake vendor account. His own account. I have all the transaction record. She slid the papers across the table. I looked through them. Thousands of dollars, tens of thousands. Multiple transfers every month, all going to the same shell company, registered under a fake business name. But the address? David's home address. I stared at the document. How did you get all this? She shrugged. He made me process the payments. Thought I was too dumb to notice. But I kept copies of everything. I kept flipping through. There were invoices for services that didn't exist. Consulting fees for companies that weren't real. All approved by David. All paid to accounts he controlled. How much are we talking? She pulled up a spreadsheet on her laptop. Over $200,000 in the last 18 months. I whistled. That's federal. She nodded. It gets better. She pulled out another stack of papers. He's also been lying about client numbers, inflating revenue reports to make himself look good. The CEO has no idea the company's actually losing money. She showed me the real numbers versus what David reported to the board. The difference was staggering. David claimed we had 50 new clients last quarter. We actually had 12. He said revenue was up 35%. It was down 8%. He's been cooking the books to secure his bonuses. I leaned back. This is insane. Oh, I'm not done. She pulled out her phone, scrolled through her photos. He's also been having an affair with Jennifer from marketing. She showed me photos. David and Jennifer at a restaurant, holding hands, kissing in a parking lot. And he's been using company funds to pay for it. She pulled out credit card statement, company card, multiple charges at luxury hotels, expensive dinners, weekend trips, all while he was married with 2 kids. I sat there processing everything. Why are you giving me all this? She looked me dead in the eyes. Because he fired you for asking for what you deserved. And he's been treating me like I'm nothing for 2 years. I'm done protecting him. I nodded slowly. All right, let's destroy him. We spent the next 3 hours at that Starbucks planning everything. Phase 1, anonymous tip to the CEO and board. Phase 2, get the evidence to his wife. Phase 3, make sure the authorities got involved. Phase 4, burn his professional reputation to the ground. Erica organized all the documents into a clean, professional package, divided everything into category: financial fraud, falsified report, misuse of company funds. Each section had a cover page, a summary, and supporting evidence. It looked like something a forensic accountant would put together, because that's exactly what we wanted it to look like. Then we created an anonymous email account, Proton Mail, untraceable. We drafted the email carefully, professional tone, no emotion, just facts. To whom it may concern, attached you will find evidence of financial misconduct, fraud, and misuse of company resources by David Carter, VP of Customer Relations. This information is provided in the interest of protecting the company and its stakeholders. All documents are verifiable and include transaction records, emails, and financial statements. We recommend immediate investigation. We attached everything, compressed it into a zip file, sent it to the CEO, the CFO, the entire board of directors, and the company's legal counsel. Hit send at 11:34 p.m. Then we waited. I barely slept that night. Kept checking my phone, refreshing my email. Nothing yet. The next morning, I woke up to my phone buzzing. Messages from old coworkers. Dude, something crazy is happening. David got called into an emergency meeting with the CEO first thing this morning. There are people from corporate here, lawyers. I texted back asking for details. No idea, but David looks like he's about to pass out. He's been in the CEO's office for over an hour. I smiled. By 10 a.m., more updates. They're going through his files. It just locked him out of his email. Security's outside the CEO's office. By noon, it happened. David just got escorted out of the building by security. He looked destroyed. I called Erica. She answered on the first ring. Did you see? I saw. It's working. What now? Now we wait for phase 2. Phase 2 was his wife. I felt a little bad about this part, but then I remembered how David treated people, how he fired me while my wife was pregnant, how he stole credit for years, how he embezzled money while other people got laid off. The guilt disappeared. I printed out every receipt, every hotel chart, every romantic dinner, every piece of evidence of the affair. I included screenshots of text messages Erica had found on his work phone. Messages to Jennifer. Can't wait to see you tonight. My wife thinks I'm at a conference. You're the only good thing in my life right now. I put everything in a manila envelope, drove to David's neighborhood, parked a few blocks away, walked up to his mailbox at 2 a.m., left the envelope inside, addressed to his wife. No return address, just... You deserve to know the truth. I walked back to my car, drove home, didn't sleep again. 3 days later, Erica texted me. His wife filed for divorce. How do you know? Jennifer's been crying at work. Apparently David's wife showed up at the office yesterday and confronted her in front of everyone. I tried not to smile. Failed. There's more. The company launched a full investigation. They brought in an external forensic accounting firm, and they found everything. Every fake invoice. Every fraudulent transaction. It's worse than we thought. He's been doing this for almost 3 years. What's the company doing? They fired him officially yesterday. And they're pressing charges. My heart raced. Criminal charges? Yep. Embezzlement. Fraud. The whole thing. I heard they're going to make an example out of him. This was better than I imagined. A week later, David got arrested. It made the local news. Former tech executive arrested for embezzlement and wire fraud. His mugshot was plastered everywhere. He looked terrible, unshaven, eyes red, completely broken. The news report detailed everything. How he stole over $200,000. How he falsified reports. How he used company money for personal expenses. His LinkedIn got flooded with comments. Former coworkers calling him out. People he screwed over finally speaking up. His professional reputation was annihilated, but I still wasn't done. See, David had always bragged about his connections, his network, how he knew people in every major tech company in the city. So I made sure they all knew what he did. I created a detailed anonymous blog post, outlined everything. The embezzlement, the fraud, the affair, the way he treated employees, posted it on Medium, shared it in every tech industry group I could find. It went viral in our local tech community. Over 10,000 views in the first week. David's name became toxic. No one would hire him. No one would work with him. He was blacklisted. Meanwhile, the criminal case moved forward. David tried to fight it, hired an expensive lawyer, spent whatever money he had left on legal fees, but the evidence was overwhelming. The trial took 6 months. I followed every update, read every court document. Erica kept me informed on everything happening internally. The company cooperated fully with prosecutor, handed over every piece of evidence, testified against him. David's lawyer tried to argue it was a misunderstanding, that the payments were legitimate, but the prosecution tore him apart, showed the fake company, showed the shell account, showed the falsified document. The jury deliberated for less than 3 hours. Guilty on all counts: embezzlement, wire fraud, falsifying business records, tax evasion. The judge sentenced him to 4 years in federal prison, ordered him to pay back every dollar he stole, plus penalties, plus legal fees. He lost everything: his job, his wife, his house had to be sold to pay legal fees. His kids stopped talking to him. His reputation was destroyed. He went from VP of a tech company to federal inmate, all because he called me replaceable. And honestly, I still wasn't satisfied. While he was in prison, I made sure his life stayed ruined. I monitored his wife's divorce proceedings, made sure she got everything: the house, the cars, full custody. I even anonymously sent her lawyer additional evidence of hidden assets. Bank accounts David thought no one knew about. She took those too. I tracked his prison record. He got in trouble multiple times, fights, disciplinary issues. His sentence got extended by 8 months. When he finally got out, I made sure the world didn't forget. I kept the blog post updated. David Carter released from prison after serving time for embezzlement. I made sure it stayed at the top of Google results for his name. He tried to rebuild. Got a job at a call center, minimum wage. I found out through a mutual contact. I didn't do anything to that job. I didn't need to. He was already destroyed. Meanwhile, my life got infinitely better. 2 weeks after David got arrested, the CEO called me personally. We made a terrible mistake. We'd like you to come back. I let him sweat for a moment. What's the offer? Double your previous salary. David's old position. Full benefits. Signing bonus. And a formal apology. I pretended to think about it. I'll need it in writing. Done. I came back as VP of Customer Relations. Walked into David's old office. It felt perfect. Erica got promoted too. Executive assistant to the CEO. Triple her old salary. Her own off. We became legends in the company. People knew something happened. Knew we were involved somehow. But we never confirmed it. Just smiled when people asked. The company thrived after David left. Turns out, when you remove a lying, stealing, manipulative executive, things improve. Who knew? We hired better people. Treated employees with respect. Actually paid people what they deserve. Revenue actually went up. Real revenue. Not fake numbers. I got promoted again a year later. Senior VP. Then Executive VP. I'm on track to be COO. My wife had our baby. Beautiful. Healthy girl. We bought a house. New car. Life is good. Better than I ever imagined. Last I heard, David got out of prison 2 years ago. He's working at a warehouse now, loading truck, living in a tiny studio apartment, divorced, estranged from his kids, blacklisted from every professional job, still paying restitution, will be for the next 15 years. His life is effectively over, and every single day, I wake up in my comfortable house, kiss my wife and daughter, and drive to my executive office. I sit in my leather chair, look out at the city, and I think about David loading boxes in a warehouse, and I smile, because he was right about one thing: people are replaceable. He just didn't realize he'd be the one replaced, and I made damn sure he'd never forget it.